Take a seat. Sir? Thanks for coming in, Charlie.
Like I had a choice. I know what's going through your head.
Do you?
Well, it isn't hard, is it? I found Serena, so you think I had something to do with what happened.
But you didn't.
No way. She's my best mate.
But you must have been close by. Are you sure you didn't see or hear anything when she was attacked?
Look, if I had, you'd have needed 2 ambulances, because I would have given whoever it was some pain of their own. Look, I found her lying on the ground and I called you.
Bit of a coincidence, though, wouldn't you say? You arranged to meet Serena and then she ends up in hospital.
But what did I just tell you?
She is testifying against your brother.
You are so off track. Look, all I did was get her to come out.
Right. So why do that? When you knew Trident had discouraged her from being on the streets?
Look, she kept saying as she was climbing the walls. I thought she'd feel better afterwards.
But you must have known she was putting herself in danger.
Yeah, OK, it was dumb. You can't make me feel any worse than I already do.
And you don't know anything that could help?
Look, if I did, you wouldn't have to ask. I want this scumbag caught as much as you do. It's the truth. I swear it.
OK.
No disrespect, Mum, but is this a good idea?
Well, as I've got no idea what you're talking about, I can't help you out.
I just thought you might be better off taking it easy, given your condition.
Well, as my condition in no way affects my ability to do the job, you'd be better off keeping your opinions to yourself.
What's he doing now?
What?
We met him earlier. He was kicking off at an auction wanting a refund.
Well, go and get him.
I'll have a word inside.
Go on.
1 minute, sir.
Not again, this is harassment.
Just step inside the shop, please. We'll sort it out. We've had a complaint from the shop owner. You're pestering his customers and they don't like it. So what's it about this time?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I suppose there's nothing in the bag either. Come on, let's have a look.
Well, apparently he's been stopping people leaving and entering and trying to get them to buy that.
I just thought someone might appreciate a bargain.
And this is yours to sell, is it?
Yeah?
Well, is this what you normally do with things you don't want? I mean, most people put an ad in the paper, a car boot sale or something.
I need the money. I was banking on getting something back from that cowboy at the auction.
So why try and run?
My whole life I've never been in trouble with your lot. I thought twice in one day was pushing it.
Do you mind if I have a look, Mum?
Be my guest.
There's no way he's had this for 6 months. It's a brand new model.
You sure?
Pretty much. He can't prove ownership. He don't know how much he paid for it. He just tried to leg it. We can do him for suspicion of handling stolen goods.
Not unless he puts his hands up. You know, it's going to take a very long time to prove anything.
I can't let him just walk away, Mum. But if this camera ain't stolen, I'm Humpty Dumpty.
Well, PC Casper, I shall bow to your better judgment. Go on.
You think Charlene's telling the truth?
Well, she seemed genuine enough. And maybe we should be looking for someone with a bit more clout.
Like who?
Like Adam Martin. We know he's an associate of Carlton's.
It's a bit thin, isn't it?
Well, it's somewhere to start. And I don't think it'll hurt to rattle a few cages.
Sorry. Mum, I need to speak to you.
I don't have time for this.
It's important.
It'll have to wait.
It's about Scott.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Look, Mum, you asked me yesterday if I discussed the investigation with him. And now I think about it, I did let something slip. I was the one who told Scott that a wheel brace was used to kill his wife.
This is all very convenient, isn't it?
I'm sorry I didn't remember earlier.
I bet you are. You do know his knowledge of the murder weapon is the reason we're holding him.
Yes, Mum, and I also realised it was really stupid of me to discuss the investigation with him.
Stupid. He breaks every rule in the book. But if I were to believe you, answer me this. Scott says he learnt about the weapon from you early on in the investigation. So at those initial stages, how did you become aware that a wheel brace was used?
Somebody must have told me.
Who?
I can't remember.
Not good enough. You've admitted yourself that there's no record of you knowing in the log or the SIOs. So I'm going to need a valid explanation as to how you knew.
Yes, Mum, I understand.
Because if you're lying and you didn't tell Scott Burnett about the wheel brace, then that can only mean one thing. That he killed his wife and that you're trying to help him get away with it. So I suggest you think about this very seriously.
I'm going to laugh my head off if you're wrong.
Just keep looking.
Were you like this at school?
What's that supposed to mean?
Teacher's pet? I bet you were the one who always used to volunteer to hand out pencils.
Look, I'm no happier about having the inspector with us than you are.
You're loving it. What do you want, a little gold star?
Just trying to do my job.
And a few extra brownie points? Oh, I don't believe it.
What, you found something? What did I tell you? That camera is one of a batch stolen a week ago from a warehouse a few miles away. Sorry, what was that? Well done, Dan. Thanks.
Where are you going?
Let Inspector Gold know what we got.
Serena! What have they done to you?
I'm all right.
No, you're not. I was just going to come down the hospital. You should still be in there.
They think she'll be more comfortable here. Laura's going to stay with you.
Oh, yeah? And what are you going to do?
Anything I can to help.
Listen to her. She puts on a uniform and suddenly she thinks she's somebody important. That's the problem with people around here. Always trying to be something they're not. And if you hadn't wanted to go and play gangster's girlfriend, none of this would have happened.
Can you just leave Colton out of this?
He killed somebody in cold blood and then tried to hide the gun in my house. The whole family's bad news. And mark my words, Charlene had something to do with this. Getting you to go out like that. But I suppose you can't see that either.
I'm not stupid. So if you're happy now, leave me alone.
Oh, well, I'll give them a minute.
Rather you than me.
People on this estate are used to looking after themselves. We've had to. Ain't nobody else.
But you are one of them.
It's hard to see past this sometimes.
I might have guessed to be somewhere close. Adi Mateen, big mate of Carlton Gales. Like to hear what he's got to say about Serena's attack.
Shouldn't you be knocking on doors?
We're on our way.
Mr. Mateen!
Not now, darling, I'm busy.
Then I'll try not to waste too much of your valuable time. You're a friend of Carlton Gales, I believe.
Yeah, I know him.
And his sister, Charlene.
Charlene. She wants a piece of me, what can I say? She's always hanging about. Is there a point to any of this?
Were you aware that Serena Richards was attacked this morning?
Dangerous place, this estate. You should really do something about it, officer.
Pleased to hear you're so concerned. Perhaps you can tell us where you were at 10 o'clock this morning.
Are you saying I'm a woman beater? I ain't never laid a finger on a woman in my life, and it's only scum that does.
You haven't answered the question, mate.
10 o'clock I was at the 8 Ball Club playing pool.
It's a bit early, isn't it?
It's 24-hour. I was there all night. You can check if you want to. Now, is that everything? I'm a busy man.
No, that's it. Thanks for your time.
So, the 8 Ball Club.
Yeah, and you can guarantee there'll be half a dozen people who back his story up.
It don't mean he didn't do it, though.
Didn't you look at his hand? No bite mark.
What's the matter?
Scott knew it was a wheelbrace that was used to kill Karen. That's why they've arrested him. It was withheld information.
I see.
No, you don't. He said it was me that told him. But yesterday, I told DCI Morell that I hadn't discussed anything about the case with him. Such an idiot.
Will you give us a minute, please?
I've left my notebook in here. I just want to pick it up.
So did you tell Scott anything?
I can't remember. Yeah, I've gone over and over it and thought about it, and I don't even know how I found out what the murder weapon was.
Honey, you need to be sure.
Well, if Scott said I told him, then I must have.
You've got to be certain if you're going back to speak to DCI Morell.
I already have.
To support his story? And what does she say?
She didn't believe me. Oh, I had to do something, Yvonne. You know, I've got to do anything to try and get him out of that cell.
Including lying for him.
Do you think I'd be marrying him if I had the slightest doubt?
You've got to put your feelings to one side and think about what you could be risking. If there's any possibility that you didn't tell him...
Scott wouldn't have said it if I hadn't. Do you know what? You can think what you like, Yvonne, because it doesn't change anything. Scott's innocent, and I'm going to prove it.
It's the same every door you knock on. Nothing.
And these 2 cameras have been damaged.
Do you think it's deliberate?
Serena would have had to walk through both of them. And I've just checked. This was done earlier on this morning, so there's no footage of the time we want.
Someone's been very clever. No wonder no one can help.
They don't want to help, more like. After the difference Trident have made taking guns off the streets.
It's gonna take time.
It's the one initiative that's had any success in the black community. You'd think people would be queuing up to talk to us. If they won't cooperate, we're nothing more than glorified security guards. And then we get people like him laughing at us.
He's a cocky git, isn't he?
We can afford to be. I bet my pension he was in on the Marshall shooting with Carlton Gale. But the superintendent's not interested.
If you've a gut feeling, then check Martine out discreetly. I'm sure Joe would be more interested if you could come up with something solid.
363 from Sierra Oscar.
Go ahead.
Assistance required at 46 Wayman Street.
Serena's house.